Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Of the closing doors, please.
It's alive!
Transfer is available.
The next and last stop is...
You're tuning into the SubwayCreatures. You're tuning into the Subway.
Brand new episode, week 4.
Yes.
Here I am joined with my co-hosts, Freddie B TV.
One of these, I promise I'm going to bust a flow. Would that be?
You open
I
every
promise.
episode saying that, so we're
Look,
still waiting.
But it's
for
coming.
it.
It's coming. I can feel it. I'm going to bust a flow and I drop a mixtape. Same episode. I promise.
And to his right, Kim Congdon.
What's up, you guys?
You guys are going to have to bear with me this episode. Sinus problems. I feel like shit. I'm medicated, so who knows where this is going to go today.
You medicated. You smoke some weed?
No, I've just been taking some medicine.
Ooh, weed
but
during sinus issues is not fun.
I would imagine not.
You don't want to clog it up with smoke
Yeah.
when everything's all clogged up with mucus.
Yeah.
It's a bad mix.
What if you smoke menthol weed?
Menthol
Maybe.
weed? I don't even think that's...
Menthol does help with the sinuses.
Put a little
apparently,
menthol in your marijuana.
Oh, well, you could also just put like natural mint in it, probably, right?
but You could do that too,
That
I
could-
guess.
I bet-
Sage or some.
Did we just start a company?
I don't possibly.
Ooh, we need to. Yeah, look, we already trademarked that. So guys, you can't steal it.
Well, we're here at the end of August, and it is still 100 motherfucking degrees outside.
Thank God.
I walked by a group of Hasidic Jews. I give those people credit, man.
I know.
They were dressed head to toe in
They already have good credit,
suits,
though.
top hats, and I was like, I don't know. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. I don't know how you're doing it right now. I'm dying in my shorts,
Right.
and they're just
So,
walking around like it's winter.
So explain what a Hasidic Jew looks like because I never knew what a Hasidic Jew was until I moved to New York.
Really?
I
had no
get
clue.
that.
I
'Cause
walked
I didn't
up, I was
even know
like,
what a
who
Jew
is
was
that?
till I went to college.
Well,
I swear to God, that's a real
and
thing.
you're Florida?
Yeah, Florida.
Yeah, I guess I can make a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of old Jews down there.
No, not where I came from.
Oh, not where you came from.
Yeah. It was like very swampy,
Here's
like
a,
middle
here's
of
a,
the
if you can
woods.
see, here's a picture.
We have
of
some
Hasidic Jew.
pictures up of Hasidic Jews.
So Hasidic Jews, they wear all black trench coats. They wear these big top hats. Some are furry top hats, and they have curls in their temples that swirl down and hang down. So if you've seen a person like that, and Hasidics, how you spell Hasidic?
That description could be a Hasidic Jew or just someone in Union Square.
That's a great point.
Or just Google Hasidic Jew, Hassdic. Did I spell it right? Oh, Hasidic. And then type it in with Jew, and then you'll see what a Hasidic Jew wears, even in 90-degree weather like today.
Yeah, and that's, again, going back, why I give them so much credit. I mean, that's good for them. Good for them, I guess. So I wanted to jump right into episode 4. There was a photo/video that kept popping up over the course of maybe 3 to 4 months. It was more towards the wintertime. And it was an Asian guy who was walking around with what looked like a little gremlin baby. And we have a photo of it. If you follow
That's a
the
dude or
account,
a
you've
woman?
seen it. That's a man.
Oh.
And he walks around with what is now being titled a werepup. Now, let me describe this thing for you. It looks like half monkey, half werewolf, maybe half human. I don't know.
It
has a
also
bulldog
looks
mouth.
terrifying.
No, a pug. It has a pug nose, snout, and mouth
Well,
without the wrinkles.
you know what? That's pretty accurate. And so I wound up posting this on the account. So if you really want to check it out, you can definitely see it on the account.
At
You
SubwayCreatures.
have to do a little bit of scrolling on SubwayCreatures, but
Or you could watch the YouTube on this podcast. You
Yes.
could watch the visual portion.
and let me just take a time out real quick to emphasize to
People
the
are
people
confused.
listening. People seem to be confused with the podcast. They don't understand why we're watching videos when it's an iTunes listening podcast. It's also on YouTube. Go on YouTube and watch. You have the visual version. And not only that, but everything for the 90% of what we're talking about is off the account. So if you follow the account, you already you're on the inner circle with us.
Yeah.
You know what we're already talking
You're
about.
part of the club.
So there's a benefit to following the account as well as listening to the podcast.
Hell yeah. There's also a benefit of subscribing because then you get notified every time there's an episode. You don't miss it.
Exactly. And I'm glad that we got that out there because there seemed to be some confusion. I was getting some DMs and some emails and some messages about people wondering, A, how they could find the podcast, and B, where the visual part of it is. And obviously that's on YouTube. Also, if you'd like the HD version or you want to binge watch any of these, please subscribe to Gas Digital on that network. You can get all of the episodes.
It's gasdigitalnetwork.com.
There you go.
Yes.
And you can use promo code Subway.
That was straight from God. If you didn't hear it.
That was right into my ear.
Exactly.
Promo code Subway, and that will get you a nice subscription per month. And you can not only watch Subway Creatures, you can watch any other show on the network. And there's a lot on there that are actually really interesting and funny.
And you also get exclusive pictures of Kimberly. She has exclusive pictures that she's sending out
of my feet. Yeah, that's true. If you subscribe, rate, review, I will send you an individual toe for every time you get a friend to review until you get a whole foot.
Exactly. You can go crazy.
Those are only for positive reviews too.
Yep.
So anyway, going back to the guy with the werepup.
Yeah.
Everyone, when I posted this, kept asking me, what is that, first of all? People originally thought it was real because it actually looks pretty. It has like a lot of real features.
Yeah, its eyes are very alive. It looks like, if you zoom into it, it looks like sometimes when girls wear a lot of makeup and they wake up the next morning and they know they're about to get caught.
Eyes.
They know they're about to get caught natural.
Oh,
Fuck. That's that face when he wakes up before you and you can't escape.
So yeah, that's a good description. But it also does kind of look like a baby. But it looks like it could be a dog or a monkey. So everyone was a little freaked out because it looks so real. And the part that we failed to mention, it's dressed in human clothes.
Oh,
yeah.
it has a North
It's
Face
matching
jacket
its
on.
owner.
It's matching its owner. So it's wearing identical outfits to the man who's holding it. And it's sitting on his lap on the
man
train.
is very androgynous.
So
That would be the most genius way to kidnap a child, is to put like wolf hair on it. And be like, it's my doll.
In case you want to kidnap a child.
That is my baby doll. What are you talking about?
that'll be one of your takeaways on this podcast.
Right.
How to kidnap a child.
Dress him like a wolf. Next.
Dress him like a wolf pup. So I reached out to this guy because I had a lot of questions, and people obviously were freaking out. What is this thing? Can you get a little more info on it?
I think you got it from Build-A-Bear.
That is beyond Build-A-Bear. That is so.
Build a nightmare.
It's Build a Nightmare.
He put the code in when he went in.
So I wound up talking to this guy, and his name is Tanakan Shindarsi, and he was just visiting New York for a few months on a visa from Thailand, and he would carry this doll, which its name is Lucky.
Okay.
He purchased it in Thailand. So the story goes, Tanakan had a dog named Lucky, and it was basically what he considered his son. Like, that's how attached he was to this dog.
If this ain't a horror movie, I don't know what it is.
So the dog,
the beginning of a horror movie.
dog ended up passing, and Tanakan was beyond upset.
Aww.
So he went to a guy who, I guess, makes these
Nightmares.
dolls. He's an artist. He makes nightmares. He works for Wes Craven. And he ended up making this guy a doll based off of what his old dog Lucky looked like. This doll cost, you have a guess for how much this doll costs?
Whoa. I mean, if he was custom made, I'd say a good 300.
I was
300.
I was at 1,000, 1,500.
Okay, Freddie, you almost, you did nail it. It was $1,000
Wow.
for this doll. And it also took 8 months to make. So
And then he took the dog
was
and then
handmade,
prayed over it, and then the spirit
handmade.
of the dog went into that dog.
I hope that
That's Chucky.
something like
That's
that.
all
It
that
looks
is
like he
Chucky.
took 8 months to make it and then dropped it in a disposal.
Well, obviously you could tell the amount of time and money that went into this
He
doll.
loved
So
this doll.
you can understand how this guy's going to bring this thing everywhere with him.
he
But
get to
on
put
top
it?
of that, you think about, he now has to buy matching outfits for the doll.
Does he have to?
No, he doesn't have to, but I mean,
It doesn't seem like he has to.
he definitely does not have to, but it looks like that's the route he decided to take.
And now he has to stick with it.
So now he's kind of has to stick with it, Once
feel that.
Once you commit, you got to go all the way.
He seems like the person that's gonna stick with it. That's really gonna commit. Like it looks like he'll be at the beach with a
Freddie,
Speedo on, and that
exactly.
thing
And
has a Speedo on, too.
this guy told me, he said, I look at the doll as my son. So that's when, you know, obviously I was like, okay, you know, I get it. You spent all this money, you know. So I reached out to him recently to kind of follow up. And I wanted to see if he actually was still in New York because I wanted to get him on the podcast.
Probably why your sinus is messed up, talking to him too much.
Oh, my God. Well, I would have lost my voice, but he speaks broken English, so it's a little hard to understand. But since then, he has moved back to Thailand. So
Thank God. Thank you, Jesus.
He's no longer in New York, and that's probably why anyone who follows the account hasn't seen that doll in a while because they're no longer in the subway.
Them.
But he has since bought another doll that he named Romeo. And you should really check this one out because...
Whoa, he's big.
Can we get his... No, the one on the right is Lucky. The one on the left...
Oh, I thought that was an actual baby. Wow. That
So
is
the one on the left-
fucking weird.
It looks even
Freddie,
creepier.
Freddie or Kim, one of you guys, can you explain what the new Romeo doll looks like?
Wow.
What it's dressed as and what it looks
Well,
like?
Do you remember Smokey the Bear? He is wearing a country outfit. He's wearing high-waisted shorts. This is a lot. This is... look at the legs.
There's a lot of detail that went into this one.
This is almost
This looks
indescribable.
Like a horror movie. I've seen a horror movie with that same thing running around killing people. I know I've seen it. I can't think of the movie that thing kills.
Leprechaun.
Leprechaun.
Yes. It
There
looks
it
like
is.
Leprechaun.
It's like a leprechaun without the green suit. It's a country ass leprechaun
Mm-hmm.
with a straw hat on. And that is the thing. If you
It's a
woke
leprechaun
up,
who fucks his sister.
exactly.
You ever see the video of Mobile, Alabama when they all think there's a leprechaun in the tree?
Yes, that is the best
I've not seen
video.
that. I gotta see this video.
That
I
is
gotta see
the
this.
best video. It's so funny.
Can we just... I know we have that video out there. Can we pull
That
up...
thing right
Even
there.
if you can't see, the audio to this video is priceless.
Oh, it's so good. They think a real leprechaun's in the tree.
So let me just set this up. So people, I believe it's Mobile, Alabama. I'm not sure. If not, it sounds like it would be Mobile, Alabama. It's is it St. Patty's Day, and everyone gathers around this tree, and they think that there's a leprechaun in the tree. So the news starts interviewing people, and it is gold. It's instant gold. Here we go. Let's play some of the audio for this.
Well, just in time for St. Patrick's Day, crowds are coming by the dozens to get an up-close view at what some say is a piece of Irish folklore.
Some people in the Crichton area of Mobile say a leprechaun is taking up residence in their neighborhood. A leprechaun. NBC
He knows
15's
what's
Brian
coming. Look at
Johnson
his
has
face.
more.
Curiosity leads to large crowds in Mobile's Crichton community. Many of you bringing binoculars, camcorders, even camera phones to take pictures.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun say yeah?
Who else seen the leprechaun say
Eyewitnesses say
yay?
the leprechaun only comes out at night. If you shine a light in its direction, it suddenly disappears.
How convenient.
This amateur sketch resembles what many of you say the leprechaun looks like. Others find it hard to believe and have come up with their own theories and explanations for the image.
My theory is it's casting a shadow from the other limb.
Could be a crackhead that hold to the wrong stuff.
It could be a crackhead.
And play a leprechaun.
We don't get down to the bottom of this. Yes,
Now there's a guy wearing a bulletproof vest protecting the neighborhood.
This guy helping to direct traffic says he's prepared for his encounter with the
This
leprechaun.
can't be real.
He's suited up from head to toe.
This wards off spells right here.
He has a magic
This is a
flute.
special leprechaun flute.
I thought it was a Beats pill.
Years ago from my great-great-grandfather who was Irish.
He has a
just couldn't
magic
help out.
flute.
Others
that
just
was
came to
passed
get
down.
lucky in hopes a pot of gold may be buried under
All right,
this
guys,
tree.
thank you. That was amazing.
It could be a crackhead. I like
I
when he
think
goes,
it's a crackhead who got into the wrong stuff.
That's probably true.
That is probably what it was.
It's chances are it wasn't a leprechaun.
It's
That I like when he goes, everybody who's seen the leprechaun say "ay," and everyone's like "ay."
It was a party. It was like, we all out here. We gonna have fun.
It's exactly what it is. I think that was probably more of a party, and they tried to make it like funny.
That was absolutely a
I don't know
block
what that
party.
is. That's something that black people do. A lot of us come together. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have fun out of it. And like we all out here. We think it's a leprechaun. We're gonna turn some music on. We're
Oh,
gonna
that
turn
is so funny. They put the amateur sketch side by side of the doll, and it is spot on the leprechaun they were seeing on the tree.
That is
Whoa.
that is
That might
really
have been
cool
what
that
they
you
were
guys
saying.
did that. So the little Romeo doll.
Looks like a dog pig hairy mixture.
Yes. A little.
The doll could
possum.
also be a crackhead.
I think everything involved with this is crackish.
Crackish. Like Whitney before she died.
So we got sidetracked for a second there, but that was probably the greatest sidetrack that we've ever had. Like going down that Mobile, Alabama clip, that was amazing.
I've actually seen like a piece of that dude when he says, if you seen the crackhead, say yeah. I didn't see that whole clip though before.
It looks like it's one of those memes, that you see on Instagram or something.
It's almost like the other one. They climbing in your bedroom, they snatching your people up.
Oh yeah,
that was such a good story because that guy like made a bunch of money.
Yeah,
from that.
Yeah, I forget his name, but yeah,
Antoine Dotson.
Wow, weird that you know that.
I'm just full of just random useless information.
Well, that's good. That's what this is for. That's what this podcast is for. Random useless information. There you go. Yeah. So moving along, I asked.
I'm gonna have nightmares. Thanks, Rick. That dog.
That did it for you?
Oh, of course. Yes, definitely not nightmares. And I love watching scary movies, but now I know that's real. That is real. But he got deported though, so that may help out. Glad. He got deported.
No one said he got deported.
I did. I said he got deported. I feel better if he got deported.
Freddie Trump
left on his own.
Freddie Trump.
We got it now.
Build a bear.
Right. We need to build a wall for that. We need to keep people like that out. Build a wall for that. An air wall, a ground wall, a mid wall. Keep him out.
Well, Tanaka, if you're listening, you were very nice. Don't listen to Freddie.
Don't come back with them dolls.
And we're going to move right along. So I asked followers, we're coming upon fantasy football season, which I know not everyone follows football. Not everyone loves fantasy football, but the majority of people, especially the following, does. So I thought that this was actually kind of fun and cool for anyone who listens to probably do in their fantasy leagues. It's kind of tradition in a lot of fantasy football leagues to have whoever finishes in last place have to either do something or there's some kind of stipulation that has to be followed through.
Like a bet. Like if you
basically like a bet. It's you know what it is? It's to keep people from not wanting to finish last. So,
you know what? Also finishing last should keep people from wanting to finish last.
Well, there's you know what happens is there's a lot of the time people just kind of give up and they're like, screw it, I don't even want to do this anymore.
Once they're gone, they're out.
But
and it's
now
not as fun.
exactly, and now at this point they're like, I may be in last place right now, but I need to at least finish second to last, or else I'm gonna have to, like for instance, one of the people said that they have a tradition in their league where there's a last place trophy, which is a dildo. And that dildo trophy has to be displayed in the loser's house in his ass at all times. And if they wind up hiding it or putting it away when they have company over, the person gets kicked out of the league for the next season.
I mean, but what if the dude actually sucks dick or something? Then that's like an accomplishment. You're like,
what if he actually has a dildo trophy already in his house?
And what if he's already homosexual? He likes men.
Then it's a good decoration for his house.
Exactly. So that's like you gotta kind of vet the people in your league.
So you're saying that? So then he'd be trying to get in last place.
Exactly. He don't mind. Well, I'm not saying.
But then either way, it's still a competition.
He wouldn't mind. He's like, go give me the dicks. Add this dick.
I think that there's also a shaming that comes with coming in last place.
It's like you gonna give me some titty trophies.
So it's either poop or titties with you. It's every episode. It's either poop or titties. Oh man, we gotta.
I got a poop story. You want to hear a poop story?
No, I don't. I don't. So that being said, I asked, basically anyone who wanted to comment. Let's try to come up with some good ways of leagues having a last place shaming. And some of the ideas actually, mind you, it has to be Subway based. So, I'm assuming it would be people who have leagues either in New York or the tri-state area, or it could be Chicago, LA, anywhere where there's a Subway. And mind you,
or a train period.
This doesn't necessarily have to be just for fantasy football or fantasy sports in general. Mm-hmm. If you want to have some kind of truth or dare or some kind of bet, you can also do this kind of stuff with those as well. So I want to read off some of the best responses to this.
Okay.
So one of the first ones. First, let me just start off by saying that this came about not only because fantasy football is about to get started, but someone recently sent me a video of someone who had a public shaming who came in last place last year. I believe we have a clip of that as well. And their thing was that they had to go into the Subway playing, remember recorders growing up?
Oh yeah.
And you
Yes.
play like hot crust buns.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Hot crust or hot cross?
Hot crust buns.
Hot crust buns.
It wasn't cross. Oh,
Yeah.
crusty buns.
Was that one in there?
It
or
was
no?
cross. Yeah.
It was cross.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I believe crust and buns
Rick
would have gone
crusty
together.
It's cross.
It's cross.
Yeah.
Cross,
Hot cross buns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what school
You
you went
said
to. Y'all playing
crust?
Crust.
Hot crust buns. That sounds like an STD.
Hot crusty buns.
She
All right,
comes
so wait,
over.
we have the video I want to play real quick so we can
Okay.
get into these other responses. And you can just, you don't even need audio, you don't even need visual. You can just listen to how. Now he's sitting in the middle of the subway having to do this while people are walking by. And he has a poster in front of him
That says,
saying
"Pick
something along the
wisely."
lines of, I came in last place, publicly shame me. So this is what kind of led me to the question of, what else can people do for that last place, person who finishes in last? And one of the first responses, I liked a lot of these answers, so we can only get to a few of them.
Okay.
But the first one was, the loser has to stand inside the turnstiles and welcome each person who walks through the turnstiles like a Walmart greeter, obviously wearing something very dumb, which I thought was pretty creative because how annoyed are people in the morning, when you're walking to the train?
That'd be funny, but almost as an airlines attendant where you have a warm towel on a tweezer. Warm towel?
Well, you know what? So we're going to end up adding on to these, which is actually good.
Like they
I like
have something to actually try to give to people. Like you have to, like a stack of flyers. You just print out some dumbass flyers and give it to them. Like you have to have.
Oh my gosh. You know what's a good one? Standing right outside the subway where you do your card and asking for a swipe, but on Tinder. Just holding up Tinder. I mean, like, can I get a swipe? Just a bunch of people all day.
Somebody gonna end up knocking your phone out.
You know what? I guess the reoccurring part of this is that no matter what, it's going to involve other people around you, and they are going to be nothing but annoyed because no one likes dealing with people, especially in the subway.
Asking for a sip of people's drinks, and if they say yes, you have to sip it. That's the best.
That's interesting.
That's the best because you don't want to sip anyone's drink who says yes to that.
Oh man, you gonna mess around and get flu pneumonia.
Every seventh person. Why can't I say this? Every seventh person you see, you have to ask for a sip of their drink, and if they say yes, you have to take a sip.
There you go. There's Fred. You got any good ones off the top of your head?
There has to be good punishment. Even that's not enough for that guy.
No, you could definitely okay, we have a couple others here which may spark a couple ideas in your head, but one person said no express trains allowed during the off season in football. You have to take local trains everywhere.
Oh, that's a good one.
See, that's creative. That's
but can't be proven.
I guess it's hard, but if you get caught on an express train by someone or a friend or someone sees you, which does happen every once in a while. I run into people that I know.
To be very severe because if you caught them, that means it was some high.
Exactly. There needs to be the repercussions are you're kicked out of the league or something.
You kicked out, or you got to pay everybody $100 or something.
I just thought that was a really creative one because it actually. You could tell a little bit of thought went into that, and that's really inconvenient. Yeah, I mean,
it ruins your year. Is it for a whole year? Is that what it is?
It's basically for the whole off season. So yeah,
oh, wow.
Whoever thought of that is an asshole.
Yeah,
they are on another level of asshole.
That takes so much time out of your life.
Right. So both of you guys are up in Harlem, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you know what it's like trying to come all the way downtown Manhattan and not have an express train because the weekends usually that's when you run into that type of a situation.
Just imagine you stay near the one. Oh my God. The one is like the Uber of train. It stops at everybody's house, it seems like. It stops every 4 streets. The one is
an
so
Uber pool.
Yes. You stay near that. No, you're going to kill yourself.
Right. So it really, that's kind of a good one. I kind of like that one because a little bit of thought went into that.
Shout out whoever did that. You and the asshole.
Last one that I have here is buy a roach costume and make the person crawl around on all fours on the subway floor.
Oh, that's really gross.
So that's really now you're almost endangering the health of this person.
Yeah.
However, last place, I guess you kind of got to do it.
I think it'd be funny to set something up inside the subway. Like you have to ride the train for a few hours, the guy on the couch. Or block everyone's doors on a motorcycle, and you just have to get that reaction every time the doors open,
right?
For 2 hours or something.
Yeah, and people, like I said, people hate that. I mean, I remember I did a quick shoot for this magazine, and the guy, this is in middle of rush hour, and we're in Port Authority, and he wants to get pictures of people walking out of the trains around me while I'm sitting there. And he asked me to stand on the top of the stairs, on the top of the steps.
And not move.
And I immediately was like, I don't know if I'm okay with that. I'm like, people are going to be cursing at me. People might even physically
hit you,
swing at me.
And if he did, it would be Lewis.
It'll be a really cool picture because we're going to blur everything else around you. And there's just going to be people like walking around the sides of you. And I'm like, oh my God, like this is like, I'm not that type of person. Like I don't do that.
You're going to have to blur my black eye.
Yeah. So
I love your answer. I don't know if I'm going to be okay with that.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, like, hell no, I'm not doing
I had
that.
just met this guy. And I'm sitting there like, I'm not sure if I'm really down for this because people are going to hate me.
Yes.
And I did it anyway. I'm like, fuck it, we're gonna do it for the pictures. And I stood there, and I remember hearing, because my back were to the people coming. Both, of course, 2 trains show up at the same time in the station, and they empty out into the one stairwell. And I'm sitting there, and I'm just. The pictures I never actually saw because we didn't use this specific one, but I can only imagine what my face looked like because I like was cringing as people were walking by me, and
your pictures all look like you're shitting yourself.
Yeah. It's got to be what it looked like. I even heard one guy, "Are you kidding me?" I heard one guy go at the bottom of the stairs, "Is he serious? Is he kidding me?" And I was just like, "Oh man, like I feel like such an asshole right now."
That's just one of those moments you have to be like, everyone just has to take it because this is for work and like this is a picture I'm going to take real quick and be out of the way. I feel like you're a good enough citizen all the time that like taking a couple seconds for yourself to get a cool photo, it's like, well, people are just gonna have to deal with it. That's how I think.
Yeah, I mean, you see those people all the time around in the subway, and you're just like, oh man, like why? Why did you have to do it in rush hour? I even said that to the photographer. I'm like, why? Why did you choose this time?
Because it's a good picture.
And he's like, well, that's when the most people will be around. And I'm like, that's exactly why we shouldn't do it. And he's like, no, but I wanted them around you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man.
It's a good photographer. I see the vision though.
I mean, you can see it in your head, but just picture what the faces looked like on those other people.
Which is even better if you're smiling. That's why it's a great picture.
Well, then people are like, wow, what an asshole. What an asshole.
What a good picture.
My point being is
I'm such an asshole.
This is exactly why having someone be that annoying person as coming in last place is like one of those things that it probably would make it good because you know they're not going to want to do it. You know everyone else is going to hate this person. Someone else mentioned something about having to go around shaking hands with everyone on the train. And that's just gross.
Yeah, it's really nasty.
We talk about holding onto the rails all the time.
Right.
I mean,
now we go just shake the hands. Have the live living germs transfer.
Yeah. And you know,
I don't like
I think a good one is if you come in last place, every meal you eat, you got to be on the subway and eat it.
Oh, that's good.
That is kind of good too because
like every time you eat, don't matter if it's a snack or anything.
Yeah, if you're getting ramen.
Let me just add to this because now you just reminded me. So the person said you have to shake hands with an entire train, and then directly after eat like a Chipotle burrito or something that involves your hands.
No, that's unhealthy. No. That's moving into the danger zone. That's like when a bet could
right.
Like,
that person is an asshole. They're like sadistic. They're like a sadist or something. Like,
yeah, if you lose, you cut off your own dick and then you make your mom eat it. It's like, no.
Right, like, who are you, sir?
Well, there have been extremes. So there are a bunch of guys in a league, and I forget exactly where this is, but their punishment for last place, they have to get a tattoo on their body of whatever the rest of the league agrees on. And so whatever I forget if it was a documentary or what, but they wound up following this league around until the last week, and they went to the tattoo parlor, and the guy got like a unicorn with a big rainbow, I believe, something like that. But
where's the location? Who decides on the location of the tattoo?
That's a good question. I don't want to make that up, so I'm not sure.
Okay,
but I would imagine it's the person because at that point, I mean. What are you going to get something tattooed right on their forehead and they can't see?
I mean, I'm like,
but these guys were doing it. They were actually agreeing and like they actually get the tattoos at the end of the season.
I think I might have heard this.
That's extreme. Would you ever?
I think he might have got it on his lower. Did he get on his lower back? Did he get a tramp stamp?
I think it was a tramp stamp.
I think I heard that. Yeah, he got a tramp stamp. That's funny.
But that's the type of extremes that people go to when it comes to fantasy sports, football more specifically. You know, people are savages when it comes to
and
that
it's men.
stuff.
You know, men got the competition, the ego driven. It's like, you know, you want everything to have stakes, winning, even.
Well, I
losing.
think that's the thing. It keeps it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even a lot of females actually are getting into fantasy football now because I think it's one of those. Fuck it, if you can't beat them, join them.
Females, yeah.
I heard it.
Oh, you don't like the word female, right?
Yeah.
No, I know. We're talking about ants, right?
Right.
Right? Not women.
No. We're talking about
Dogs, right?
Yeah.
Like breeding animals. That's what we're talking about.
So just to catch the audience up, Kim does not like the word female. Do not refer to her as a female. She prefers chicks over
I do
female.
prefer chick.
Over
No,
female.
I think she doesn't mind chick. I think that was the conversation. You don't mind chick.
Yeah, like it won't offend me. Female, I have to
Can
think
you
about it
explain that again? Why you don't like?
I just feel like usually when people use the word female, it's talking about like sex or like or it's like all these they're like, it's usually used in a way where you're bitching about women. Like females do this, and it's always used that way, and it just seems like
A negative connotation.
I mean, nobody says males. Like, oh, I hate when males go to the store and don't pick up the thing I asked them to get. Like nobody says males because we're not referring to someone by like their sex, like their fucking genitals.
So women or
But women is by your genitals because that's what women are. But it just sounds like
I am going to be walking on eggshells every time I'm around Kim.
you're both getting me too'd by me. I've already planned it. I'm gonna own SubwayCreatures.
Right.
I'm just
10
saying.
years. We're all on
Okay.
TV.
We have no HR here.
There are a lot of chicks who do fantasy football now, and
We're not chickens. I just bitch about everything.
imagine. And we do
Shame,
want
shame,
to,
shame.
yeah. So,
So there's a lot of males and chicks doing fantasy football.
right. So it's just becoming more popular. I don't even know where I was going with all that. I'm totally thrown off now.
I forgot after what happened before female.
I'm like sitting here trying to censor myself, and
Don't do it
it's-
anymore. You know what? You don't censor me. I don't censor you, Rick. How about that?
You know
can say
what? I
female
like
as
that.
much as you want, and I don't care.
I know. We'll
I'm
just
putting it
know.
on paper right now.
We'll know. We'll have like a little swear jar that we'll put in here, and
That
every
we
time,
won't owe each other anything.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
It represents.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck these bitch females.
If we have a
I'm just
swear jar here, I'll be rich.
Yeah. Well, that's true too.
Take all the money.
Okay.
So no, you said fantasy football, but there's a lot of women who do fantasy football. But do they bet though? Do women bet like men? Like how men do the tattoo? You come in
They
last
do, but
place.
they're just a little less.
So women bet like, oh, you gotta give me all your MAC makeup if you come in last place.
No, I think women get into it. I
Yeah.
think they really get into it, and I just said women.
Yeah,
But-
my friends from college all do fantasy football leagues, and they have like man-ish bets. They have bets. They also have bets with like their husbands, and they'll bet like different things, like, oh, I won't have to do dishes for 6 months.
Oh, see,
Shit like that.
See, that's
Which
stuff-
is like that's great.
That
if
is
you're in
great.
a relationship and you're
Exactly.
and you have to do the dishes every time. For 6
Exactly,
months.
and it's
That's
not
a great
it's not like a monetized bet. It doesn't involve money. It's
and
you
it's
know.
like still a good punishment because like nobody wants to do the
If
dishes.
you're
all the
married
dishes.
and you're betting your husband and your wife about money, that marriage probably not gonna last long. Because it's like y'all married.
Or if you're married and you have a budget where you spend where you're like, we can only spend this much each a month, you can take theirs.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different routes you can go down.
Oops. Just kidding. I would never do that. If my boyfriend's listening, I would never.
He's right outside.
Yeah, I just saw him. I think.
Okay. Do you guys remember the water bottle guy who was like tonguing the water bottle?
Oh yeah. He took the virginity and Busta Hyman.
Yeah.
Aquafina. Yeah.
Well, I think he might be back.
Oh, okay. All right.
So this is the guy who was basically.
Is this a new video?
No, this is the same one.
It's
This
like
is
his
the same
audition
video.
for
The guy
Eat the
tonguing
Writer.
the water bottle, which upset a lot of people. But there is a new video that was sent in of a guy doing something very similar to a lollipop.
Okay, pause.
Oh shit!
So I want to pull it up, and let's try to see if this is the same guy or not. I haven't put these videos side by side yet, but
From far away, it absolutely could be.
He got the same jewelry.
Yeah, I think it's the same guy.
Same build. Yeah.
So Freddie, why don't you set up what's going on in this clip for us?
So the first video looked like he's auditioning to be the vagina eater of whoever wants to apply. Now he's auditioning to suck somebody's dick. he has a lollipop and he's like nibbling on the tip a little bit and like just sucking ever so gently on the tip of the lollipop, not putting the whole lollipop in his mouth.
So for those of you who do follow the account, you would have seen this on the story on the Subway Creatures account. We pulled it off there because a lot of people started reaching out to me and they're like, I'm pretty sure that's the water bottle guy. And I was like, you know what? I didn't really think about that, but then when you actually look at both clips, hey guys, is there any way we can put those side by side? I know it's, we'll give them a second to set that up, but you know, this is possibly just a guy who has an oral fixation.
You know what I think too? I think this probably works for him. I feel like he goes in and probably 500 people get grossed out and one fucking really horny bitch is like, this dude's jacked. Is fucking well lotioned and he can eat pussy. And that's all I need today. Like, right?
That's all I need. We got him up side by side.
I mean, he's not a terrible looking guy.
No, he looks like DMX.
He looks like you know what he reminds me of in White Chicks, where he like is very sexually aggressive.
Yes.
Like, you're gonna need a wheelchair. Like that. Like very like Terry Crews in White Chicks aggressive. But besides that, like some chicks can be into that, you know?
Well, of course.
Obviously me.
There's an audience.
You can hear the way I'm talking about it.
You sound very excited.
Yeah.
There's an audience for everything.
Right. I think that there is somebody out there who will see him molesting orally these objects and like, you know what? Let me see what that'd be like.
Well,
what that mouth do. They want to just know what that mouth do. Like on something real when it's game time. It's practice, you know.
With both of these videos up side by side, I'm pretty convinced that is the same guy.
It's the same guy. Oh, they're wearing the same shoes.
Look at that. Brian just whispered in my ear they're wearing the same shoes.
Yeah, they are.
So, and
work boots.
So, you know what? Possibly the same pants.
They got different Caterpillar boots.
Different tank tops.
Different tank. Same reaction from the people around him.
That is, all right. Great.
Yeah, same.
Great heads up on that. Same jewelry.
Wow.
It's the same guy.
We know nothing. We would be terrible investigators. It's a picture of a guy side by side. We're like, nah, let him go. It's not him. He's like, he's wearing the same shoes.
We're also looking from a distance on the monitor, so let's give
trying not to be racist. If we're wrong, that could go wrong. Very wrong for Rick.
No, it's
Freddie, you can guess it. Same guy or not?
Well, I was already waiting for the. I know, Rick, that we all look the same to you. I was waiting for that comment from Freddie, but
I don't know why.
It turns out to be the same guy.
No, because they actually look alike. Now, I've been to some places where, white people make some comments. It's like, no. Like, like it'll be a guy look like Will Smith and another guy look like Hannibal Buress. I'm like, oh, they look like they favorite. Like, no. They're two different blacks, actually.
Two shades.
They're like two totally different blacks. Like, I don't know where you get them from.
Freddie, don't call them blacks.
Don't call them blacks.
Guys, let's get to the clip of the week here.
I love Rick's transition.
Let's get to the clip
enough of you shenanigans. Let's get to the clip of the week. Oh, we got the new animation.
Oh, that's fire.
I know. I actually like this.
The bullet train. I wish the trains really went
I was telling these guys, too. I'm like, we're finally, we've got a graphic for the clip of the week. And it turns out it's a picture. It's not even a video this week. But it was a picture that I remember tagging you guys in. And I'm like, we're going to be checking this out because this had a lot of engagement. And it's basically a woman
who's very flexible.
Clearly got onto the train and sat down. We don't know if the person's homeless, but I'm going to go out on a limb and assume because he's not wearing shoes and he's laying down on the subway bench.
He's missing limbs.
And the woman is basically sitting on his legs. So let's break this thing down, okay? From the source, there were apparently a lot of open seats around her.
Okay.
Really?
Yes. That's the guy who took the picture said that there were a lot of open seats. She's
being a bitch.
Decided to stay there. Now, there were a lot of people in the comment section who said, she's a bitch for, sitting down on top of this guy. Other people were like, why does the homeless guy get to lay down on the bench? Fuck it. She paid for her fare,
She paid for her fare, but if there's open seats, don't be a bitch.
Well, that's the thing. What is she really gaining by doing this?
She's gaining some sort of self-righteous, like fucking rich, fucking bullshit.
Now, mind you, I'm not saying anything about I'm not saying that the homeless man's in the right because
He's
you're
not.
obviously not supposed to be laying down on the bench on the train.
Right.
But if
now
there's
she's
open
in the wrong
seats
too.
around,
But
why?
now she's in the wrong.
I mean,
Right.
it's the thing. Like some people, like if I get on the train, the homeless person's laying there, they're not supposed to do that. But if it's open seats, I don't care. Like I'm just gonna sit on the open seat and then go about my day.
Yes,
But
you
if there aren't any open seats, and that could be an open seat, then I'd be like, hey, sir, get up. You know.
That reminds me of like a video of a woman being mad at a kid selling candy bars outside of a store. And she's like, you can't sell that without a license out here. And it's like, if people are buying candy bars from this kid and he's not harassing you, just go about your day.
Oh, yeah,
If he's throwing
yeah.
candy bars at you or like chasing you or yelling at you if you're not buying the candy bars, it's an issue. Just like if this guy's in, maybe if you need to sit and you're disabled and this guy's sleeping, even then you're like, well, fucking take the hit every once in a while.
To go off of what you're saying, if you're this woman and there are open seats around, which apparently there are, why would you want to sit on a homeless person?
That's how.
I mean, she's doing it because I think it's entitlement. She just come like, you're not supposed to do it. I'm just gonna sit. She's the type to ask for the manager at the champs. Like she just, hey, do you have these shoes? Hold on one second. Can I see your manager? I need to see your manager. She's the one that immediately asked for your manager.
Yeah,
That's her.
I feel like the homeless man's so chill about it. He probably just put his arm around her waist. He was like, cool.
Well, I mean, I'm imagining he didn't even wake up because the fact that he's still laying there with her sitting down.
She keeping his legs warm.
He probably was just like, I really don't care. Yeah. If anything,
she keeping his legs warm. She don't even know that.
Exactly. There you go. That's what I was gonna say. Actually, is she's probably just keeping his legs warm. We all know how it can get pretty cold on those subways in the summer. Yeah, it's 100 degrees out, but you get on. If you're on for more than like 5 or 6 stops, it actually gets a little cold on those trains sometimes.
Yeah, so I mean, she's definitely a bitch. I mean, I can definitely say that. Is she being a bitch in that instance?
I almost saw a fight in the
Because they
subway
both
where
kinda
someone was
wrong.
misunderstanding something, and I watched the whole thing happen. And what if this lady is like, what if she's helping him? What if she's like his mentor, and she's like, that's a bag of clothes for him. She's sitting with him. She looks pissed. She looks like a bitch.
She looks pretty upset.
She looks like a nightmare.
She's the type to call
I'm
police on
trying
black
to play
people
devil's
barbecuing.
advocate, but like it's pretty hard here. She
Yeah.
looks really
That's the thing is, and what we're doing right now is a big thing that happens on not just my account, but all over the world.
misunderstanding.
It's not knowing exactly what is
Assuming.
happening and just jumping to conclusions.
Mhm.
And obviously, let's be honest, what we're saying is probably the case, but we also don't know.
Yeah, and then we don't know. We just drawing conclusions.
Exactly. And that's what everyone does. And that's what, that's the way the times are.
I mean,
now.
but based on the facts, if there were open seats, she's sitting on some. Like,
well, that was why I really emphasized that at the beginning of this whole piece was that's the main point. It's not like it was rush hour. It's
Yeah.
not like it was a crowded train.
She's just trying to be a bad person.
So
she's like trying to prove a point.
Fuck this lady.
I think it was kind of like it's the principle.
You should have
it's like-
farted right then.
She's trying to prove a point. Like anytime you try to prove a point, usually you probably should not. Because once you prove the point, it's not like the person you proved it to, like, oh, you know what? You are right. I like you now. They still gonna be mad at you, and you proved your point, but they're
Yeah.
still mad at you, and you got an enemy.
So obviously there was I don't even want to say a split audience on that. The majority were leaning towards, I think the fact that there were open seats really did not help this woman at all.
Oh, not at all.
But, the news picked it up.
Really?
This picture was everywhere. Really? So, when that happens, that it's either a controversial topic or it's something that's going to get people going. So that's why a lot of, sources like the news and larger accounts like to post that stuff because it's going to get.
Did we find out who she
going.
is? We should bring her on the show.
That would be great.
I don't. Does that woman look like she's going to want to come on and talk about the time?
But we should get her to talk. I would need to know what she thinks about life.
Maybe it'll be like her redemption. Like we'll try to, give her like
If
a
anyone
chance to
knows
explain
her.
herself.
Hit us up.
Yeah, so
We won't be mean.
If
we
if
really
you know
want to
her,
know why.
reach out and we wanna talk to her and we want to get her on the show and we would love to hear
Beat
her.
the shit out of her. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, what if it is one of those instances where she's like, I did have a bunch of clothes in my bag that I was giving to him, and I know that's Charlie. Charlie,
I sit with him every week. He likes when
I sit with him and he talks to me.
Why wasn't
and-
she giving a foot massage then?
So maybe what if there's like a story like that needs to be told and she doesn't have the platform to do it? We'll give her that platform.
Even
or
if she's like,
she can get on and she can just be like, no, I was feeling a little cunty that day, and I decided
and we could just know, and then we
yeah.
could tell her she's a bitch to her face.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Look at that face, man. She ready to call somebody manager. Look, she can't wait. She will get here and try to call our manager.
You know, not
where's
for
your
nothing,
manager?
that is a great way to become a meme. That face is a meme. Like that's now the face that will. There's a million different memes that will come out of that face.
Totally.
When you're on Facebook and you demand to see the manager. My Facebook just crashed.
All right, we had a couple of questions that were sent in this week. Some of which I actually thought were kind of interesting, and I'd like to answer. Charitable Nomad asked, "What was the best costume you've ever seen on the train?" Obviously, being in New York and especially around Halloween time, even if it's not a holiday, people are wearing costumes all the time, as you guys know, in the New York City subway. So I thought that was a fairly valid question. However, and I've seen a lot of good costumes, a lot of costumes that were not Halloween related. People who are artists who wear a lot of what they call art pieces, and it could be in the middle of the summer. It doesn't even have to be in October.
Yeah.
However, the best one I've ever seen was around Halloween, and it was just because of the time and effort that were put into these. You guys remember Beetlejuice with Michael Keaton?
Yes.
And
These that movie.
It's an awesome movie.
I love the end of the movie too.
Everything about that movie. It's one of those ones that I could watch probably at any time.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter. Alec Baldwin. So they redid when who was it? Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin turn into like those monsters. Look at these.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, snap.
Now that's made from scratch. Those are not masks.
That's amazing.
And these people are artists. So for those of you listening, this is the one time I really recommend watching the YouTube version or going on Gas Digital and checking it out, because even though this picture was on the account, I remember I posted it in 2015, October. I only know that because I had to look it up last night to get the actual picture. But these masks, these costumes were made from scratch. I talked to these people way back then, and they explained how it's a lot of paper mache, and this is kind of what they do for a living. And these masks, mainly because of that, they weren't just going to Ricky's or Party City and buying up plastic masks. They made these from scratch. Yeah. Those were the best costumes I had ever seen. Not only that, but masks aside, they really put detail. Like they're wearing the actual
really
outfits.
Good and scary. It would scare me if I got on the train.
It looked legit. Like it looked like a scene out of the movie.
Yeah, that would scare a child.
Yeah. That's why I don't want to raise children in New York. Get on the train, they see that, like, like calm down, it's fake. No, it's not. That ain't gonna eat me.
What have you guys seen any notable costumes or anything along the lines of?
You got the side by side of it.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, so now all right. So these guys are awesome. They put the picture on the subway next to the actual scene in Beetlejuice, and it's
really good,
spot on.
Yeah, it's really good.
What about you guys? Have you seen any?
You know what? I haven't seen anything too crazy, but on the SubwayCreatures Instagram, you posted a video once of a guy who had a costume of like his arm almost being ripped off.
Actually, that's a good one. Yes.
Yeah, and I remember it looked so real.
That was fairly recently too.
It was so real looking, and I would just remember thinking like, how fun would it be to walk around the subway with that thing? Like, just scaring people. So and I don't think he actually had an arm. It seemed like
we can pull up the video that's actually off of my account. So the video that Kim's talking about, I believe, happened maybe in Germany, or it was definitely in like a European nation. But this guy actually does only have one arm, so he made the best of it. And he has a prosthetic Terminator arm, so it looks like it's half metal. He looks like he's half machine, half human.
He's a cyborg.
Yes. Thank you.
Exactly.
And he wore this thing, but it absolutely looks mangled.
Yeah.
Like I can't wait till we pull this up, because it's actually it's very detailed, and it's got like, it looks like the blood's coming off and the flesh is hanging off. So it looks really cool for us. But to your point, it also looks like if there were children,
they would be fucking.
There might have been in the video.
Traumatized.
They would be very traumatized.
Well, the adults were scared.
If you're a parent, you're going to be answering a lot of questions for the rest of the day.
Well, you just say it's a costume.
Well, you could say it's a costume, but even then, you don't know that this guy only has one arm. Like, unless you actually know him, you don't know. And he pulls it off. Like it looks real. Like, it looks like there's a metal arm coming out of his body, which is really cool. But at the same time, and I don't remember, he might have even done his head as well. Like, he might have had the part of the robot on his head as well.
I mean, he looked like he came straight out of like an action film.
So he looked like an extra from the Terminator film. Like he
looked, no, not an extra. He looked like the Terminator.
Oh, the Terminator. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's the main. Okay. I guess they may put up, but
It was.
Oh, there it is.
So here it is. So again, the guy really has one arm, and this thing looks like.
It looks like he just got blown up.
Yes, it looks like a bomb went off next to him.
You know what? Honestly, a small part of me, as an adult, would think that something just happened to this guy. Like, it would scare me. Like,
look at everybody's staring at him. Like he.
Well, that's the other thing, is that he's making it look like this is just a regular Monday afternoon.
Right.
I would think that something just happened and that he's still in shock and he just got on the train.
The funny part of this video is whoever videoed it, they were behind them and they were just filming it. And then right when he turned around, they got scared. They tried to play like they were filming something else. They kind of came back around. You kind of tell they caught his eye. He like, I see you videoing me. It's okay. And then at the very end of the video, you see him smiling at the person. That is hilarious.
I mean, I always say I give credit to the people who try to record the stuff that they send to me, because
that's a brave one.
In a way, they had to be very brave, and they had to somehow. Remember when we had Nico on, and he was like, "There's a way that I film without people knowing."
Right.
He never ended up showing us his freaking technique, but there's got to be a way to it where you actually do that. You know,
but this guy right here, like, he knows what he's doing. Like, I'm just gonna film. You see me, yeah, you know what you're doing. You came out with this extra stuff on your arm.
Can I show you a good way to film? I think.
Okay.
All right.
This is what I would do.
Hold on, Kim. Let's wait till we got you full screen, because I want to. I want
Kim
people
phone big as hell. I'm gonna see how
and
you do this.
describe what you're doing.
I'm gonna
too.
film you actually.
Kim
Okay,
has the
so I'm gonna
iPhone
open up
8
my
Super
phone
Plus.
and I'm gonna put it on video. I'm gonna start recording, and then I'm gonna pick up the phone and just put it to my ear and point it at you.
Oh, so
How do you know if you're accurately getting what you want?
I am.
You are. Did you just go Instagram live on my ass?
No, but I am videotaping this. So if anybody wants to see, and I'm nodding my head like I'm listening to music, getting the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well,
so
you know where the other part of it comes is the balls to try and call that person out. Like, if I'm like, "Excuse me, I know you're recording me," and you're like, "What are you talking about?" Like, it takes balls from me to have to do that too.
Both ways, it takes a little bit of balls. That's why it's so good.
Right.
It is true.
Yeah.
I would say the craziest costume I've saw was on Pride Parade. It was two guys that were together. One guy had like wings and glitter all over his body, and he had tighty whities on, and then the other dude had like just a button-up shirt and had some tighty whities on. And the dude with the glitter all over his body and the wings and he like a unicorn, he had bottom across his butt on his tighty whities, and the dude had the button up. He had top across his crotch.
Yeah. Well,
that's not even. That wasn't
Freddie,
even Pride Week. That was just a Sunday brunch in the gay town.
Freddie, I live in Hell's Kitchen. That is every weekend.
Oh, okay. That's what I was like. Oh,
I know you don't get a lot of that up in Harlem, but that is every day in Hell's Kitchen / Chelsea.
That's a performance art in Harlem.
Exactly.
I was like, oh, because he had the wings and the glitter all over his body. He looked like
so funny.
A
top
Lucky
angel?
Charms unicorn.
Exactly.
Who?
A top angel?
No, he was the bottom.
Oh, bottom
He
angel.
had bottom across the butt. He was the bottom. And then the other dude just had just the button-up shirt on with he had this, like, he looked like, you know, one of them guys that like are on the beach with the button-up with the straw hat.
I don't know.
I've never seen anyone on the beach wear a button-up and a straw hat. Sorry, Freddie. I don't
like the creepy guys. You know, the creepy guys who go to, they're not going to swim. They just go to the beach just like
But
with
like that was
glasses
such
on.
a specific outfit.
I feel like you were talking about someone very specific.
Yeah,
right there.
himself, obviously. That's how he dresses at the beach. We all know it.
All right.
Trying to get my views on.
Moving right along. Ryan asks, Do you ever get any bus creatures? And if so, what were the craziest? I do, because people send me everything from bus creatures to basically any kind of public transportation that would fall under the creature category. Obviously, a couple weeks ago, we showed one where the bus was flooding. That was pretty insane.
Yeah.
A lot of people fighting on the buses, as what always happens. To be honest with you, the bus actually seems
calm.
Oh, I was going to say the opposite. The
Crazier?
bus seems scarier to me than the subway.
Oh.
In New York at least, have you been on the bus?
Yeah, but I feel like the subway scares me because once you're on, you can't get off.
Well, that's how I feel about the bus, though.
No, I'll get off that fucking bus if I need to. If I need to get off the bus, I'm getting off. Brian looks very like he needs to tell us something.
You can't get off the bus. I've tried.
They're legally only allowed to drop you at stops.
I will kick open the doors of the bus.
I just made that up.
No, you can't.
You can't?
I've tried.
Brian
Really?
tried to escape a bus and he could not.
Brian's bigger than me.
Wow.
So he can't do it.
So they just
Well, that's
won't
good
let
to
you
know.
out.
That's a little fun fact that
Tidbit.
everyone can walk away with.
Don't
You
get on-
cannot get off a bus unless you're at a stop.
That's crazy. Like, I mean, even if there's an emergency and people are getting stabbed, they're not going to open the door.
So for all you control freaks out there, just remember next time you're on a New York City bus, you cannot get off unless you're at a
I guess
stop.
it makes sense, because if you're on the subway, same deal.
Yeah, but
In
that
between
still
stops.
even seems more safe to me because you can, like, get out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if
Yeah.
you're on the subway and there's something bad happens, you're on that. You're just running through different trains.
Right.
Well, actually,
like,
you can get off, because
there's-
if you open the door in between cars, and you get in between the cars, you can just hop over to like the little spring thing, and then you off.
That's
you're off the train.
assuming you're at a platform.
No, you don't need to be at a platform. You know people walk through the trains. They open up the door.
Yeah, but I'm saying, where are you going to go after that, though?
If
you
the
can't
train's
jump,
moving, you can't jump off.
jump off.
I'm saying if somebody's stabbing everybody on the car,
You
then,
are? You'll jump off?
Yeah, I'm not understanding.
Freddie, not every car you can walk through like that. I've been on many
Oh
cars.
yeah,
where
in the
you
middle,
can't-
in
where
the
you
middle
can't walk through.
where the person is, the conductor. Yeah, you can't go through there.
Or the A train. You can't switch cars on an A train.
Yes, you can. I have.
No, you definitely can't.
What train you been on?
I don't know. So to answer Ryan's question, I also have a video of a person bringing a goat onto the bus, and everyone kind of freaks out for that. I know we got that one. Let's play
I would
this
be
one.
so excited.
Another week with goats. Is it LeBron or Jordan? Oh, it's a goat. Ooh, it's a goat.
Oh, it's a gross goat.
It's a gross-looking goat with very long horns, and everyone's freaking out.
look at the
did
mom.
you hear
Hell
that?
no.
Oh, hell no.
Fuck that. People are grabbing their children.
See, like that's an instance where you just do the video. Like you don't even try to sneak the video. Look, somebody just took a
Yeah,
picture
'cause
with the
they
flash
want it.
on.
Oh, well, in an instance like this,
You
yes.
have to take the video, 'cause, like,
it's
people don't
very
care.
warranted to have a camera out and have a flash on. Like, it's when you're trying to sneak, you know? When someone walks on with a goat, you know, I'm sorry.
She
but
cleared
look at the person behind.
She
They like-
cleared the whole bus with the goat.
everyone got off the bus.
The goat was like a fart.
Ew.
That girl just walked by with a bag of chips like the goat wasn't there.
Right. She, didn't
She
even
pushed
see
the
a
goat like it was a child on the
This
on
is
the
every
train.
day on the bus.
Yeah.
Look, she's get on. She's stomping. She get on like.
Yeah,
what's
something's up with her though.
Yeah, she's on drugs. Yeah, she's
This
definitely on
seems like a
some type of
sketchy
drug.
bus to be in. This bus seems like it's going to a rehab center.
Right. Where is this? Where in the world is this bus? Like
The
literally.
goat's doing cocaine.
Well, so Ryan, thank you. This was that was a good question, and actually we had video of that, so that was a good one.
Bus creatures.
Hell yeah.
Kicking right over to this just in. Obviously, these are the videos that you guys have not seen, and these are the bonus videos for anyone who's watching on YouTube or on Gas Digital.
Yes.
They get to see these for the first time as well.
Fuck yeah.
The first one we were talking about scary stuff and creepy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This one is...
Ooh, I can't wait.
This one's going to be pretty creepy. We're going to need volume for this one, guys.
Creepy.
There's absolutely no volume. We even stopped talking.
Well,
we're gonna need volume. Dead silence.
This whole video revolves around the volume. So hopefully we do have the clip in. There is volume.
They have on Yeezys. Okay.
Speak.
What the fuck?
My
is
the hair just stood up on my arm.
What the fuck is that?
So There's a guy walking on the sidewalk, and he walks over one of the Subway grates, and he kicks the grate, and there is something down there.
And he says, "Speak."
He goes, "Speak," and it goes.
He was summoning the devil, like for sure.
And it's like he knows it's there. Like,
well, you know the other thing that I was thinking of. Do you guys remember the video a month or so ago of the guy who basically it looks like he lives down there? Like he lifts the grates off and he jumps down in there. So that's immediately the first thing I was thinking of when I saw this. But it also could be an animal. Like it sounds
like me when I'm hungover and my boyfriend asks me what food he wants me to go get. Like that's the way I answer. Can we play that again? He's like, let me say it first before we play it. Where's the video?
That's pretty accurate.
Let's pull it up. Like he's like, babe, I know you're sick. You've been throwing up. Can I get you something to eat? That's what I do. French fries. That's the same thing. It's just a hungover person.
And fries.
Mac and cheese.
With bacon.
I have like that whore like after drinking voice.
Oh my god, how freaky is that though? When I heard that and you hear the volume up, it's like, oh, hair.
It's
stands
just
up.
weird because it doesn't do anything. He stomps on it and then he goes, "Speak," and then it does it.
Yeah, but
it's a human.
I mean,
and then he puts $1 in the thing.
I just feel like something could have easily like popped up or who knows, because you don't know what it is.
He was over top of the
and
grate.
people live down there.
People do. The mole people
live down there.
They live in the subway tunnels.
That's not out of a children's nightmare books. If you guys don't live in New York or don't live in a big city, people live underground. Like they have homes down there,
true.
communities.
It's like people under the stairs.
And we will do another episode on that. We will definitely follow up on that.
We should bring someone in that lives down there.
We could definitely do that.
Why would we do that?
We'll send you in to go find that person.
Yeah,
Let's do a documentary where I go down there. I'll wear a bikini, see what happens.
Right.
I'm sure they're great people.
You will be a human pincushion.
Should be bait. Like putting the worm in the
They're
ocean.
called females.
This last one we have. So, all right. You guys probably known this. This has been around since ancient Egypt. It's the guess what's under the cup when the guy, the hustler has, is that what it's called? Three card? It's three card Monte. But that's with the cards. That's with the cards. This one's with the ball that's under the little ball that's under the cup.
Okay.
So I didn't know that was actually still around. You know, you feel like it's almost one of those things that you see in the movies, but it's real.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's a whole trick.
It's
People
it's a scam that's been going on for decades and decades. And someone sent me a video of it the other day of it actually happening. So I put it on the story, and then people started sending me DMs saying like, hey, what is actually happening? So I wanted to show it so we can kind of break down the 3-card Monte or the shell game, because sometimes it's shells.
Like, so one of the dudes who do that, they actually broke down the whole process.
All right, so maybe you can help us with this one then. So here's the video of the guy. Obviously, he found a woman who's going to pay up to guess which cup the ball's under.
Oh, no.
And he gets up and runs off the train with her money in 2 seconds. So
that's like,
to set this
she
up,
looked like he just hit it and quit it.
So to set this up for the people watching, so this guy's hustling, and he sits down, and this woman is so confident that she knows what cup the ball's under that she pays out. I don't know how much money it was. It looked like it was only maybe a couple dollars. Mm-hmm. She paid out to him. He shows her that it's not the right one, gets up and runs off the train.
And he's going to go get the next idiot.
He jumped out like she was a jump off.
I know that a part of this scam is there's usually two people, and one acts like they are a tourist, and that they actually win.
Yep.
So that way it gives false hope to all the people around him.
Exactly. Yep.
And then that person is like, "Oh, look, I won $100," and gets off. And then everyone's like, "Oh my God, I can win $100," and that's part of the scam. So Freddie, you said you saw the breakdown of this. Why don't you fill us in a little bit on what's happening in this scam?
So what you said is the whole like breakdown and the whole foundation of it. So the person is somebody acting like they win and they stay right there and they act dumb or whatever like that. And then as soon as you come by, you watch and you look, they'll reach out to you and say, "Hey, you want to guess? Guess which one it is. Just take a guess." They'll do it. Just take a guess. And they'll do it real easy. So when you guess, you get it right. And they're like, "Okay, you want to do it again? Here." And they'll hold out money for you to hold in your hand. Like, okay, this the next bet is $50, $100, and they'll hold the money out for you to hold in your hand for you to guess again. And if you guess again, more than likely, you're gonna get it wrong because when they do it, the ball isn't under
What do you
any
mean
cup.
they hold out money? They hold out their own money?
Yeah, they hold out money that they have. They'll have a handful of money. So like normally, like so I see this all the time at like the All-Star game, places where it's just a lot of people, All-Star game, Super Bowl, stuff like that.
We get it. You go to sports events. We get it. You do HQ trivia sports now.
You had to drop that in there somewhere.
EA, Madden. I don't know. That's all that I know.
That's the same shit.
My bad.
Right.
Sorry.
But yeah,
cut you off. Go ahead.
so when they bet, like normally they bet like $50, $100, stuff like that, and they'll have all the money in their hand. And so then like they'll say, hey, you know, guess which one it is. And you'll be like, you've already been kind of looking, and you point, and they're like, boom, oh, you got it right. You know, you want to do it again, and you know, here, if you win, this your money. Here, hold it. So like once you hold the money, you got money in your hand. So then you add on top of what you said that you saw the friend get it right, and then you just got it right, and you got money in your hand. You think it's like, okay, I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna get this money again.
But how do they get money from you once they give you their money?
Because it's understood that you're betting money now.
I would say no. You made me hold your money. Here's your money back. You want it back.
People who do that are like gangsters.
Well, I was gonna say
you don't get caught up in that.
There's a lot of sleight of hand that goes into this because
It's all sleight of hand.
Obviously, what you're saying and exactly what happens is at some point there is no ball under those cups. So when he goes to move them, the ball comes out and he's got it.
Yeah.
So I mean, the ball's gone at the beginning. Like so, as soon as he puts it down, the ball isn't under any cup. So he's just moving it around and moving it around. You think you're gonna get it? The ball been gone. Ball was never
because
under.
That's the other part.
Just cup check him. There's the ball.
Well, that's
run
the
away.
thing. Notice in the video when the woman picks what cup it is and she lifts it up, he doesn't let her pick which cup actually has the ball under it because none of them have.
That's
the ball
why he
under
walks away because
That's why he walks away so
the other
quick.
two up.
He's like, it doesn't matter. You didn't get the right one, so I don't need to show you. But in reality, there's no ball under any of those cups.
Good for him. If he can get people over, then whatever.
You know what? The whole point of this was to educate people and let them know,
It's a scam.
that it's a scam.
Never
but at
do
the
it.
same time,
A hustle's
good for
a
that
hustle.
guy.
Yeah.
A hustle's a hustle, and
If the girl's got an extra $2 to play with, that's not really my
that
issue.
is an old school hustle. That is an old school hustle right there.
And the people who do it, the reason why they still do it, they say it's a dummy born every day.
Well,
true.
there's as long as you're doing it in New York, you're always going to have tourists who
Are just confused and want to play a game on the train.
exactly. They think it's all. You know what?
I've never seen it on a train though. I'm like,
Well, that was what I thought was interesting as well. Is this guy's jumping car to car doing this? I mean, usually you see it in like again movies like an alleyway or out front of a bodega or a store. He was actually going car to car doing this, and I was you got to kind of tip your hat to him.
Yeah, good for him.
you can get beat up like that. You're like, hold on, I remember you. You the one stole my money. Run me my money. Run me my coins. And you get beat up on the train. I'm surprised you're doing the train. Like most people do it and they're gone.
Well, that's the thing.
Well,
he was out so quick. He even timed the doors.
Yeah, he times the doors. He knows.
The doors. He knows. He's done this quite a few times. You could tell.
He's been doing this since the Clinton administration.
Yeah.
So let's dig into the comments. We only have one this week, but I thought it was it's more than it being a good comment. It's kind of a guy telling a story. Now, again, we just talked about one of the longest scams in New York. Not that this is a scam, but have you guys ever had a nutcracker on the New York City subway? Or it doesn't even have to be on the train, but they sell them at the beach a lot, at the Rockaways. They sell them on the train a lot. So nutcrackers, for those of you who don't know, are basically, could be Hawaiian Punch, it could be Kool-Aid, and it's just jacked up with alcohol. So there's a lot of different flavors.
Yes, the pouches.
They could be pouches. Sometimes they come in the little cartons. But these are basically people that, again, whether it's on the beach or on the train, they jump car to car, and usually it's in a suitcase, and there's like maybe ice in the suitcase, or it's some insulated somehow, so everything stays cool. And they sell what are called nutcrackers. They call them nutcrackers pretty much because you can't call them the alcohol that they are, or else you can get arrested.
Whoa, I love
So this guy's old school, man. He's an OG. So let's play this clip real quick.
Wednesday night, get your head right. The Puerto Rican rum, tequila, vodka. Only you know. What you need? What you doing? Where you going? Where you screwing?
Dude, I love this guy.
I love that he has a haiku with it.
I love this guy. That he has got the haiku. His motto is always open for business. So
I love that.
He old school pimp. That's an old school pimp. See all the pimp sayings? See, like they all rhyme and
But
stuff.
did you see that suitcase?
It was pretty.
Like,
It looked delicious, actually.
It
plethora.
It looked.
Would you drink one of those? I don't like drinking things that are homemade from people's homes and hands.
I mean, so he has not only the alcohol in there, but he's got. I think there's also like waters. He's got beers. Someone said because this guy's kind of well known in New York. So someone else said he carries Lucy's on him. For those of you who don't know what a Lucy is, it's basically a Soul cigarette. You could pay $1 out of a pack. Yeah. You can go to to pretty much any bodega in New York and ask for a Lucy, and you can buy one single cigarette for $1.
Whoa!
See that works only in New York, because from Nashville you can get a whole carton of cigarettes for the same price. You can get
that's
pack
the thing.
of cigarettes here.
It's about $100 for a pack of cigarettes in the city. So people are always people are just walking home drunk from a bar. You're like, I just want a Lucy. You just go and buy one cigarette.
I get that. Good
but
profit.
So this guy, apparently these people make bank. Anyone who sells these, they do pretty well for themselves.
I'm gonna quit comedy and fucking sell nutcrackers.
We're doing something wrong.
Yeah, I saw this one guy. He came into the barbershop and he was selling nutcrackers, but in adult size Capri Sun.
Yeah,
pouches.
that's a big one.
All right, so you see on the top of the bag,
right
yes,
that
I
looks
see
like
one.
it's the pouch.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they also sell those. So they come in multiple forms.
That's the best.
This guy had Hennessy and Patron. I was like, what?
Well, that's the
Top
thing
shelf.
that you're kind of rolling the dice because you don't always. They may say that it's that, but you don't necessarily know.
I would never.
I'm a fine purveyor.
I
of
promise
alcohol.
you, it's not.
It would be.
No
one
one has
really
the money to buy Hennessy and Patron and then go out and sell this.
This is those Kharkov and Popov, vodkas. It's the bottom
This is
shelf
like
stuff.
alcoholic people's vodka, like that comes in the plastic container.
Yeah,
like
the Everclear.
Tonka and Skull.
But that's
Yeah,
why.
Skull, yeah.
That's why it could also be dangerous though, because like stuff like Everclear, which is like over 100 proof.
That's 180 proof, yeah.
You drink one of those nutcrackers and you're on your ass.
Liddy.
Well, it sounds like it's worth it then.
So I thought it was pretty funny that Mikey Ghost decided to share one of his experiences of having nutcrackers.
I like how you
with us.
start this off.
So he goes, my word, last time I had a nutcracker, I bought from one of these dudes on the street. I woke up next to a garbage can on Grand Concourse Station of the 2 train. Started my day in the East Village. So yeah, I'm good. And it was funny, but then also I realized as you're scrolling down, he continues his story halfway down the comment section.
You could tell he went through shit that day.
Yeah, he's seen some shit.
Right, that was an experience.
I brought back some bad memories to Mikey
It's like
Ghost.
the first time you take meth or something. You're like tripping out on acid.
So he scrolled down in the comment section and he goes, I should also specify it wasn't just one nutcracker before I get all those lightweight comments. I had about 3 big ones and I don't know what the fuck they put in them shits, but I wasn't right for days after that.
That's scary.
And that is why you are rolling the dice with nutcrackers.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you get 3
very
big
cautious.
ones. You get 3 big ones and it happen like that.
Listen, one of those will do some damage. 3 of them, I now understand why he woke up.
Mikey died.
Mikey,
He's tweeting from his ghost. His name's Mikey Ghost.
Right, Mikey Ghost. Right, I was about to say he's actually a ghost. But I just really love because you could tell he's a ghost. And he's hanging out with like old Victorian ghosts. He started off with my word.
My word.
And
Back when
and
I
it took
bought
a
a
turn.
nutcracker in 1662.
It took a turn towards the end of that story as well.
I drank one of them nutcrackers. I ended up in the Bronx.
So if you ever see the nutcracker guy, would either one of you guys fuck with that?
No, I don't. Like I said, I don't buy things from people that need to sell them on the train.
They're pretty popular. You'd be
I know they're
surprised how
popular.
many people.
I'm a little bit of a germaphobe. Not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah, I don't even like if I go to like a barbecue, I won't eat like things that like, oh, someone brought this coleslaw. I won't. I like it store bought. Yeah, because I don't know how people live in their houses. I've seen dirty ass.
You're not alone. You're not alone.
I know girls that
change.
change their tampons, don't wash their hands, and then go cook a meal.
Okay.
Like, come on. You can't eat strangers' coleslaw. A chick made it.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm never having
females.
coleslaw again.
Yeah, it's gross. I'm a germaphobe.
All right, guys. Well, if you think that you have a good caption for one of the videos or pictures or a comment or, as Mikey Ghost just did, even a story to go along with any of them, please leave them and we will acknowledge what we think is worthy of the show.
Shout out to Olga.
Shout out to Olga. Olga is still not over last week's episode.
Right.
So make sure you leave captions, comments on all the posts, and we will go through them.
Fuck yeah.
Let's get some shameless plugs. Freddie, what do you got for us?
Y'all know the usual. Freddie B TV know why. I.e. holler at me. We can talk sports. We can argue. You can tell me how much you hate me on my Twitter. I tweet back. Let's do it.
Freddie, you made a point this week on Twitter to tell people, more specifically celebrities, to stop acknowledging the negative trolls and start giving more publicity to the positive.
Okay. So let me
Positive
explain.
Freddie. That's why he wore that teal shirt today. He's so happy.
Let me explain. Because, celebrities sometimes they'll retweet the trolls. They only retweet. Like, I'm not going to retweet the trolls and give you shine. You can tell me I'll read it. I'll talk back and forth with you. But I only retweet the positive. Positive tweets, I'll retweet those.
Okay.
If you tell me how much you love me, retweet. How much I look good, retweet.
I'll
How
do
funny I
that
am,
too.
retweet.
Fair enough.
But if you're a troll, I'll just talk back and forth. I'm not going to retweet it.
Okay. Fair enough. Kim.
Yeah.
Kimmy Podcast. What do you got?
Oh, yeah. You can listen to my podcast, Broad Topics. That's topics with an IX at the end. TOPIX on iTunes, itunes.com/broad topics. You can listen to my other podcast, Stone Science, itunes.com/Stone Science, itunes.com/SubwayCreatures. Subscribe, rate, review. You guys fucking support us. We love you. We love doing this podcast every week. All we're asking for is some reviews and just some listens and, subscriptions. And it's easy, and we love you, so love us back. And then check out stonescience.com/YouTube, where I get comedians stoned and make them do a science fair project.
Wow. As always, covered a lot. You even got in Subway Creatures in that one. Thank you.
Subway Creatures is my daddy.
There you go. I'm always at rmcguire13 on Instagram. What is New York? We still got that going. Subway Creatures, obviously, if you're listening to this, you're hopefully already following that.
Yes.
And as Kimmy Podcast already said, subscribe, listen, share, download on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, anywhere music or podcasts are.
Tell 3 friends too. Share.
Tell everyone. Tell the whole world.
But hold on, before we go.
Yeah.
Are you done?
I'm done now.
Okay.
I wasn't.
Because your boyfriend, you just came back from Vegas, and your boyfriend was in a big boxing match. I saw some of you. I saw your Instagram stories.
Yeah, it was intense.
Yeah. We kind of, because we were talking about it earlier. Kind of give us a little bit.
Well, he went in. He did what he had to do.
This is Luis J. Gomez for anyone who actually follows him or knows who he is.
Yeah. He went in, he whooped some ass, and he came out a champion, just like we thought. Freddie, there's not too much to explain. Watch the videos. That's my man.
That is a wrap.
Would you ever do that, Rick?
Would I do it?
Yeah, like what he did, the boxing.
I would if I had the training that he had. I am not going to.
He got cold.
Oh, he was doing.
He trained for 3 months. Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm not going to just walk into the ring and try to beat up someone. But if I got the training, I would probably do it.
Would you hop in the ring with somebody if they didn't have training, but like neither one of you guys had training, and it's like, okay, you and somebody?
No, because I wouldn't trust myself. Taking us out this week, very talented kid that I just met. He actually is from Japan. I was very impressed, actually. Didn't even speak very good English, and then turned around and was able to sing Sam Smith, and I felt like killed it. So this is Tashi Hiko doing his rendition covering Sam Smith's Stay. We will see you next week, guys.
Stay with me.
Yes, it's true. I'm like I don't understand. But I still love Christmas just a man. And these days never seem to go to plan. I don't want you to leave me to hold my hand. I want you to stay with me. 'Cause you're all I need. They say love is there to see, but darling, stay. emotional. No, it's not a good look and some self-control. The team that I know is never yours. Aşk away with me, so that's enough. I want you to stay with me. 'Cause you're all I need. They say love is there to see. But darling, stay with me. Oh, won't you stay with me? 'Cause you're all I need. They say love is meant to see. But darling, stay with me. Oh, won't you stay with me? 'Cause you're all I need. They say love is meant to see. But darling, stay with me. But darling, stay with me. But darling,